After weeks and months of blood, sweat, and tear, we finally cracked the code to building our own UGC creator network at Wizo Media. Trust me when I say this, it was not easy. There were so many problems and roadblocks that were unexpected, and I want to share with you in today's video the lessons that we learned after successfully building our own creator network and share with you all the mistakes that we made at the agency so that you don't make them yourself when building your own network. My name is Justin and I'm the founder of Wizo Media, an e-commerce marketing agency specializing in elevating thriving brands by simplifying e-commerce growth. Well, the first lesson is pretty simple. Expect to fail. Look, when you're building your own UGC creator network, there are so many things that will go wrong. Like I'm telling you, you might think that after watching this video, you're probably going to be foolproof and you're not going to make any mistakes. It won't happen. Any new endeavors, you will face some mistakes, some problems. And on our side, this was the first time that we created an offer before even testing it internally. So we first sold it to the market to see if there was some form of product market fit. There was, because we actually had 4 clients come in for that specific offer. Again, before it was even tested out in the wild. So when we got these 4 clients, we got the building and then we built as we went, essentially, because a lot of people make the mistake of starting to build and then sell after, but they lose a lot of time when they do that because you don't necessarily know if the market will want it. Look, you can be a successful serial entrepreneur, but you never know if your next idea is actually gonna be it. So test your stuff first with the market, see if people actually want what you're selling, do some form of pre-selling, do some form of early bird pricing, and then from there build on that offer. So that is true from both an agency perspective or an e-commerce perspective, right? Don't order, tens of thousands of samples of a new product that you might launch as an e-commerce business owner because you don't know if people will actually buy it, right? You go small sample size at first, see if the market wants it. Well, it's the same thing from an agency's perspective, right? Second lesson that we had when building our own UGC creator network is that humans are unpredictable, both from a client and creator perspectives. Because when you look at the creator perspective, look, a lot of the time creators don't necessarily respond, right? They would apply to work with us because we have a way of acquiring inbound UGC creators. So they apply to work with us. We'll immediately reach out to them and try and qualify them for one of our clients. And the truth is about 40% of the creators just never get back to us. They never even respond to our reach out back to them. So again, I guess that's life, right? A lot of people, this is probably the same thing as recruiting, some new employees is that a lot of people apply, you reach back out to them to offer a job opportunity, they never get back to you. So it's life, but again, people are unpredictable. So they're unpredictable in that first part in terms of getting back to us as a first touch point, then following up, with us when they've actually received the products. So this is why the first couple of times that you work with new creators, there's a lot of things that can go wrong, right? This is why also you want to build stronger relationships with them, which I'll get to in just a second. Which I'll do a segue to the third point, which is automating this whole process and productizing it takes a lot of time. Every time we thought we were at the finish line, there was actually something else we had to fix. I was joking with the team, telling them essentially last week that I was kind of a handyman recently. I was the guy kind of trying to fix this whole process basically every single day. So my whole job in the last couple of weeks has been fixing this UGC creation process. And are we at a spot that is perfect? Probably not, because I do think that there's always going to be some room for improvement. I do think that we're going to continue to improve the system over and over again as time goes by. Are we already miles ahead from day one? Totally. So with that being said, automating this process is key for it to function in the long run because there are so many variables that when you first get into it, it's overwhelming, right? So you got to keep track of each products that you ship to each influencers, which influencers have worked with what clients, as an agency, then which ones actually, where are we at with the email communication? Have they received their products? If yet, why don't we have the content back? Then we get the content back. There's some mistakes in the content. How do we actually provide that feedback to the creators? Then once we actually get it back, when does the client come in the review process? Then sending it over to the editing team. I think you get the gist of it, but there's a lot of steps needed to create a bulletproof UGC creation process. And that can only be done with time before you start automating that. Now, kind of the fourth lesson that we had while building this is that you really need to be good at selling and at negotiating, because a lot of these creators actually are basically pitching themselves to you, right? They're trying to pitch their highest price to you in the hopes of getting the best deal for them. But at the end of the day, you also need to be wary of yourself as either an agency or as a brand owner, right? For us at the agency, we negotiate on the behalf of our clients. So we definitely want to make sure that our clients get the best deals as possible with these influencers. So we also set a budget aside for each campaign. So we kind of have a price in mind. We know how much usually the market charges for such a type of video. So sometimes some creators will actually be able to get them a little less, some a little more. And look, it all comes down to wanting to keep them for the long run. We can already see from the initial discussion part of things and already see from how pushy a creator is in terms of how good the relationship will be. So some we gladly accepted to pay them more than the rate that we had in mind because they had a very good portfolio, they were very professional in the negotiation process, and we felt like there was a long-term potential to work with them. Others, again, I'm telling you, others were more as a test for us and we were very unsure of that. So we stayed firm in our price and kept it there. So there's a lot of selling when it comes to agreeing to a specific price for these influencer campaigns with UGC creators. And a fifth and last lesson is that you should prioritize relationship building over profit. So that ties back to a point earlier where I was saying that humans were unpredictable and you want to follow up with them, you don't want to harass them either. So it all comes down to relationship building. We can quickly see if a creator is someone that we want to keep working with or not. A creator that we want to keep working with is somebody who responds crazy fast to our messages, somebody who delivers the content on time, somebody who is open to feedback, also someone who charges a fair price, and lastly, somebody that also shares their own ideas with the campaigns that we have in mind. There's creators that are nothing more than executors. They're basically bodies. They're there and they just shoot what you ask them to shoot. Others will add their own little twists and actually do so in a way that enhances the initial brief that we sent them. So we love to see these types of creators, and those are the type of creators that we want to send more and more products to, pay more in the future, and potentially get them on retainer to be able to create some more content for our brands. That pretty much settles it for the 5 lessons that I learned after building our own UGC creation process at the agency. Now, if you're an e-commerce brand or store owner making at least $20,000 to $30,000 a month with your brand, and you want us to run all of your UGC content and all of your TikTok ads and omni-channel marketing, make sure to click the link in the description down below and book in a very short demo call with our team where we'll show you exactly the systems that we use internally and help you implement those within your brand. On that note, make sure you check out other videos on the channel for some more useful e-commerce marketing tips, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.